Yo guys, Vision Shen here, back with more Minecraft content, with today's video being around all of the in-game boss mobs in Minecraft, with boss fights being challenging encounters with powerful mobs that require preparation, strategy and skill. The game features a small number of official bosses, alongside other boss or events, even considered as mini-bosses or boss-like due to their difficulty and unique mechanics. In this video, I wanted to share a detailed overview of all of the different boss types in fights in Minecraft, based on official bosses, mini-bosses and notable events, with additional context, tips and tricks alongside our encounters with each of these bosses in our Forever Worlds to help new and existing players with playing this game, and hopefully you'll learn something new. So on that note, without further ado, let's get right into it. So first things first, before I go into the details and summarize all of the bosses in this video, I wanted to make it clear and remind anyone new to the channel that I do have guides for all and every single one of these mobs separately, in details on how you find them, prepare for them, and tackle each one separately. So go check them out, they are linked in the description. Now, as for the official bosses in Minecraft, there are two canon bosses recognized for their high health, unique mechanics, and significant rewards. Now, the first and ultimate boss in all of Minecraft is known as the Ender Dragon, located in the End Dimension and accessed via an end portal inside a stronghold. With 200 HP, so equivalent of 100 hearts, it has multiple attack methods consisting of a melee charge, which deals up to 7.5 hearts on normal difficulty, and if it collides with the player, and the Dragon Breath, which is an area of effect attack that leaves a lingering cloud, dealing 3 hearts, which is 6 damage per second if the player remains in that cloud. So various different types of strategies, as well as an explosive fireball projectile that creates the Dragon's Breath cloud on impact, so avoid this at all costs. As for the mechanics of the Ender Dragon, it's healed by end crystals, which are effectively placed on obsidian pillars all around the arena, where players must destroy these crystals in order to prevent any regeneration for the boss. It flies around the end, occasionally diving to attack players or perching on top of the central fountain in the middle, where it becomes vulnerable to melee attacks, and that is where you're going to have to try and sort of move around, avoid the Dragon's Breath, avoid looking at the Enderman, and then trying to deal both ranged and close quarter damage. The fight itself does have various different phases, including one where it will block any ranged attack from arrows, forcing close quarter combat, where you effectively have to manage dealing ranged damage when the dragon's in the air, as well as close quarter damage when it's on the ground by the fountain, and then avoiding, of course, the Enderman and any Dragon's Breath puddles. But when slain, it will drop the Dragon Egg, which is a trophy item dropped only on the first kill in your world, as well as a massive amount of XP points, 12,000 XP to be specific, and only 500 XP on any subsequent kills, because if you weren't aware, you can actually use end crystals and spawn the dragon back in at a later date if you want to, one, use and access more end gateways, or of course want to get a little bit more XP, or you want someone in your world to have to experience this type of environment as well. As for the difficulty, it is moderate to high, depending on your preparation and of course your skill level, and also your experience in this game. The fight does require destroying those crystals, dodging attacks, and dealing with Endermen all throughout, which can complicate the battle to say the least. Now, with proper gear such as enchanted armor, a strong bow, it's definitely manageable. Both new and less experienced players would certainly find this quite intimidating. The Ender Dragon in itself is known as the final boss of Minecraft's main story, and defeating it then triggers the end credit scene, though the game does continue afterward, and in reality, it's the very beginning point of so much more in this game, with being able to obtain shulker boxes and an elytra for fast travel, and so much more going forward from this point. It's really where you want to get to as soon as possible in your Forever Worlds. Now, as the second official boss in Minecraft, this is known as the Wither. It's summoned by players in any dimension by using 4 soul sand or soul soil blocks in a T shape, as well as 3 wither skeleton skulls, which can be farmed and looted inside the nether via a fortress by slaying wither skeletons in themselves. With 300 HP, so 150 hearts in Java, and 600 HP, so 300 hearts in Bedrock, the Wither is very difficult to say the least. It attacks using wither skulls. When it fires black skulls at you, fast moving, and deal 4 hearts, so 8 damage on normal, and blue skulls, which are slower, destroy most of the blocks in its surrounding area, and deal up to 6 hearts, which is 12 damage. It also has the Wither effect, which is when these skulls inflict Wither 2, draining your health over time, similar to the poison but lethal, and as well as the dash attack in Bedrock Edition, where it effectively charges at players in its second phase, destroying terrain in its path, and making sure with block destruction it breaks pretty much most blocks in a 3x4x3 area, including obsidian in Bedrock Edition. So as you can see, this thing is absolutely lethal. As for the mechanics, the Wither has 2 phases. The first phase, where it effectively just flies and shoots skulls, targeting players and most non-undead mobs, as well as the second phase, below 50% health, it gains a shield that blocks arrows in Java Edition, or becomes more aggressive with dash attacks in Bedrock Edition. So depending on which one you play will significantly change the way this boss plays out. It's also immune to fire, lava, drowning, and freezing, but it is vulnerable to smite enchanted weapons, so consider this in preparation. It can be fought anywhere in your world, but terrain destruction makes enclosed spaces very risky, so consider this in preparation as well. It rewards you with a nether star when it is slain, which is used to craft beacons, which are very powerful buffs along with 50 XP. It's also a high difficulty mob, especially in Bedrock due to the doubled health and destructive attacks. The Wither's mobility, area denial, and wither effects makes this a formidable foe and an official boss in all of Minecraft. Strategies like trapping it under the ender portal or in Bedrock, you can cheese it in the fight, but a straight up fight is intense and far more rewarding as it is so much more satisfying in my own experience. It's also a side boss that players summon for valuable rewards, and it's often considered harder than the actual Ender Dragon in itself due to its relentless attacks and environmental destruction. But let me know guys down below on which boss you find harder to defeat and why. As for the mini bosses in all of Minecraft and boss like mobs, while not officially bosses, certain mobs in the game are definitely classified as mini bosses due to their high health, unique abilities, and challenging mechanics. These are typically found in specific structures or style events, and even sometimes referred to as bosses by the community or above the game in itself. Now the first one is certainly the Elder Guardian, located in Ocean Monuments, found in specific rooms with 3 per monument, having 80 HP, so 40 hearts as the health. As for its attacks, it has a laser attack which deals 2 hearts of damage, so 4 damage, and continues to deal damage using this laser if the player remains in sight, adding more damage over time, as well as Mining Fatigue 3, which inflicts a beam attack that slows mining speed drastically for 5 minutes, which can become quite a problem, especially if you're not prepared and do not have potions for this. As for the mechanics, Elder Guardians are stationary, but they are guarded by regular Guardians, which becomes quite overwhelming if you encounter many of these on the outside environments, which fires laser attacks and make the monument a hostile environment in itself. The Mining Fatigue effect definitely forces players to fight underwater without being able to break blocks efficiently or at all, requiring potions such as water breathing, night vision, etc., and all creative strategies like using doors for air pockets and stuff like that. With regards to tips such as blocking lines of sight with blocks can interrupt these laser attacks, making the fight far more easier, so consider this, with rewards such as sponges used to clear water from areas if you're building underwater and building under the map, as well as prismarine shards, prismarine crystals, and occasionally raw fish or wet sponge, also really useful. It's a moderate difficulty encounter with the underwater environment and mining fatigue making preparation far more critical than most, but with proper gear such as depth strider boots, respiration helmets, and of course any diamond or above armor, the fight is certainly manageable. The challenge becomes from navigating the monument in itself and dealing with multiple guardians. It's referred to as a boss once the Elder Guardians are considered mini bosses due to their high health and unique status effect. They guard valuable loot in the ocean monuments too, so make sure you look around and enjoy this maze-like structure, an encounter that is definitely more enjoyable and challenging early game. So make sure you prepare yourself, bring your friends along, and let me know down below on how you guys have found this entire environment. We also then have the dreaded Warden, which is located in the deep dark biome, specifically ancient cities as well. Spawns when a player activates any Skulk Shriekers up to 4 times, which then summons it by stepping on Skulk sensors or breaking blocks near them. It has a 500 HP, so 250 hearts, the highest of any mob in all of Minecraft. It's absolutely absurd, with many different attack methods using the melee attack, which deals up to 15 hearts of damage, so 30 damage on normal difficulty, which is enough to kill a fully armored player in 1 to 2 hits. It also has the Sonic Boom, which is a terrifying ranged attack that passes through blocks, dealing 5 hearts, so 10 damage, and ignoring any armor. As for the mechanics, the Warden is a blind, but detects through small vibrations and smell, making stealth critical whilst crouching around. It spawns with a darkness effect, which is so intimidating. I have no idea how this environment is set for kids, because this game is no longer for kids if this is the type of boss that you come across, reducing visibility and adding so much tension. If you guys haven't seen any of my previous videos on Minecraft, there is a really cool video about ancient cities and also in my Forever Worlds of me encountering these with both me and my friends, and it also shares any in-game experiences with regards to finding this mob for the first time, the communications, the comms, and what we actually sounded like experiencing this environment for the first time. All of these encounters are all there, so check them out because they are hilarious. Hearing grown men scream and cry about playing Minecraft is not something that I ever thought I would do, but it's not meant to be fought directly. Mojang designed this as a threat to avoid. However, players can kill it with extreme preparation, powerful weapons, potions, and traps. It despawns after 60 seconds if no vibrations are detected, and it also encourages avoidance over combat, so bear this in mind. I am still yet to defeat this bloody thing in survival. I will get around to doing it in a Forever World episode, which we've got on the series going on at a minute. If you guys weren't aware, I have hardcore series going on at the moment, and a Forever World, which is a realm shared amongst me and my friends, and they are some really cool series, which we have so much going on, and this is a boss mob that I am planning to get my payback on. It's an extremely difficult mob to fight directly. The Warden's massive health, devastating attacks, and ability to bypass armor makes it nearly unbeatable without cheesing, i.e. trapping it or using things like TNT. Stealth is intended for the approach, but some players treat it as a boss fight for the challenge, so just let me know guys on down below on how you you have found any useful strategies in defeating this thing, because like I said, I am keen to get my payback in our Thread World. As for the significance, it really poses nothing. It was introduced in the Caves and Cliff update. The Warden is often debated as a boss due to its immense power and health, but it guards ancient cities and contains unique loot such as swift sneak enchantments in there, but offers absolutely no rewards for being slain, so just consider this as well. It's more of a thing that you want to kill, but there's nothing you really gain from it, so just also consider this, because realistically there is no purpose for you actually trying to defeat this other than your own ego. Finally, we also have the Ravagers, spawned during pillager raids during waves 5 to 7 on normal difficulty and even earlier on hard. A 100 HP, so 50 hearts boss mob that also has 2 attacks, a charge attack which deals 6 hearts, so 12 damage on normal. It can also knock players back, as well as using the Roar, which deals 3 hearts of damage, so 6 damage on normal, and causes knockback as well. As for the mechanics, Ravagers are parts of raids waves, which are accompanied by pillagers, vindicators, evokers, and witches, also as well as vexes, making the fight chaotic and very difficult if not prepared. And if you are not experiencing this encounter, I would highly suggest you watch a video, because these are quite risky and it's definitely not easy by any means, especially on a harder difficulty. Their high health and damage requires strong armor, good set of weapons, as well as using things like the village defenses such as walls, roofs, traps, whatever it may be, to help you avoid being damaged. They can also be ridden by illagers, increasing their threat, but rewards a guaranteed saddle, contributes to raid completion, which grants the hero of the village effect, which offers trading discounts and loot like emeralds or totems of undying from slaying evokers. So I'd say it definitely makes it a worthy mini boss fight. It's a moderate to high difficulty encounter depending on the raid wave, the player preparation, and all of the skill levels involved. Ravagers are tanky and hit hard, but the real challenge is managing multiple enemies simultaneously whilst avoiding those vexes, any evokers, and of course any vindicators, because they will kill you very quickly, especially if you are caught like myself in previous times with only having your Elytra on and not having a chest piece. Even with netherite, you can die very quickly fighting these things. It's often considered a mini boss due to its role in raids and also the high health that it has as well. Raids themselves are sometimes treated as boss-like events as well because of the boss bar and the escalating difficulty. So as well as all of the bosses we've just gone over, there are also boss-like events in Minecraft which are not single mobs but are considered boss-like due to their difficulty, boss bars, or significant rewards and plenty of enemies. These are typically tied to specific player actions or locations, such as a pillager raid, which we briefly just summarized in the main boss-like event, which is triggered by entering a village using a bad omen status effect, which is gained by killing a pillager captain, and can be a difficult encounter, especially early game, with an abundance of rewards available to you, such as totems of undying, emeralds, and so on. There are so many different mobs involved in this, but if you're interested in actually playing and encountering a raid and you aren't aware of what these are, go check the description below, because there is a link for the actual raid encounters, how you prepare for one, what you're expecting in this environment, and how you will effectively win these whilst also getting the Hero of the Village award, what it means, and so on. There are also other mini bosses that you can consider, such as Ocean Monuments, which have the Guardian Swarm with Elder Guardians that we discussed earlier, Trial Chambers, Pillager Outposts, Nether Fortresses, Bastion Remnants, and even the Ancient City. But I'll leave that for you guys to tell me on whether I've missed anything, or if you believe that some of these encounters are just simply playing Minecraft Survival and not actually boss-like. Reminder, all of these bosses and mobs encounters are all covered in much more detail on the channel separately. Check the links below in the description for anyone interested if you want more details. But with that said, if you've enjoyed the video, do not forget to like and subscribe, as it massively helps me out. Comment down below if you have any tips or tricks or strategies that might help out any existing players, new or returning players to the game, with defeating these bosses for the first time. I'm Vision SGen. I hope this video has helped you guys and taught you something new about playing Minecraft, and I'll see you in the next one.